All right, man. Let's do a Kali Uchis tier list. I'm recording this. I'm re-recording this because I kept trying to pronounce the album titles, and I would have a really bad accent. Yeah, that I'm just gonna try and describe the album titles. I'm not even gonna like try to pronounce them because I'm just gonna end up embarrassing myself. So yeah, let's just get into it. Sub asked for this one, and I just waited for the new album to drop, and now it's out. So I kind of want to talk about everything. So let's just get into it. Starting us off at the bottom, F tier. It's Drunken Babble, man. This album is not very good. Her singing on here isn't great. The production on here isn't great. I mean, the condition it was made in, and like the whole story behind this album is actually kind of interesting. But overall, it doesn't sound that amazing. It's very underwhelming. As I said, her singing isn't great on here. It's kind of, I don't know. It just sounds weird. This whole album is pretty boring, to be honest with you. There's really nothing like outstanding on here. It's just consistently like, nah, I'm not a fan of this, you know? Yeah, it's like a 3, light 3. It's not great at all. It's cool though for, as I said, like the conditions it was made in, like the story behind it. That's interesting, but this album itself is not very interesting at all. And then going in D tier, it's the To Feel Alive EP. This one's just pretty boring too. It's just kind of like a few songs that I'm just like, okay. Like, the songs on here are just fine, you know, like, whatever songs. They really make me feel nothing. I don't know why I'd listen to this over an album by her. It's okay, I guess. It's like a strong 4 to a light 5. It's just whatever, as I said. Literally, like, nothing songs. Yeah, they're whatever. Above that, they're going in D tier. It is an EP, I believe. This EP is called Pura Vida. I'm like not even gonna try to say it with an accent because I'm just gonna end up embarrassing myself. But there's some decent songs on here. It kind of peaks near the end with some good songs, honestly. But overall, I'd say half of this thing is pretty boring. Songs on here like Melting are just absolutely like just slogs of a listen. Like seriously, the Melting is such a boring song, such a nothing song. There's a few other tracks on here that I barely remember. But overall, it's got some decent songs and it's got some pretty boring songs. It just kind of rounds out to be like a light 5 for me. It's whatever, man. Really nothing crazy. Then going into B tier? Yeah. I'd throw her new album. It was a pretty good listen, actually. Like, I think it's a pretty good album. Easily one of the best of the year so far, but even then it's like only a few weeks in and nothing really has come out. But yeah, it's just consistently pretty great, man. There's some pretty great tracks on here. I will say though, I was pretty disappointed because the lead single for this album, like I wanted more of that sound, like just the acoustic guitars and everything. Oof, it's amazing, but like I wanted like an album of that. I thought I was getting an album of that, and I didn't, you know. But even then, the album that I got was actually pretty good. I just wish there was more of those acoustic tracks. I wish she just made a project of her doing that for like maybe 20-30 minutes, you know. We still have the Acoustics EP, which I'll talk about, but yeah, her new album's still pretty great, man. I'm feeling like a strong 8 on it. I think it's pretty great, but it does kind of tend to fade into the background at times. It's still pretty good though. And then yeah, this can go in A tier, I think. Nah, this can go in A or B, but it's Red Moon and Venus. I'll put it in A for now. It's just a very good album. It's pretty consistent. Got big highlights on here like Moonlight, I Wish You Roses. Those are just some really great singles from her in general. It's just pretty consistent. I like the vibes on here. Feels like more isolation sounding stuff. It's just pretty good, man. I have really no notes on it. Just a very good, consistent album. I like it a lot. It's like a strong 8 to a light 9 for me. I enjoy it. Above it, though, I'll throw the Acoustics EP. This thing is so good. Like, it's amazing. It's really good sounding, but it is too short. Like, you make this 15, 20 minutes, it's like her best album in S tier. But, like, no. It just, man, like, I wish it was longer. Like, I just wish this album was longer. But it is not. It's like 3 songs. It's like 8 minutes. And it's so, I want more of this sound from her. If she does an album, an EP even, that's longer than this, that is just this sound, I will be happy. I will be a happy person. But no, she makes a little 8-minute EP of just her doing these acoustic tracks that sound really good, but it's just way too short, man. Like, I wish this thing was so much longer. It's an amazing EP, but it runs too short, surprisingly. Yeah, it's like a light to decent 9 for me. It's very good, but like, man, I wish it was longer. And then going above it though, it's just the original album. It's the album with the pink cover and her with the wings. This one's very good actually. It's just her, I don't know, man, it's just more good music from her. I really like the sound of this one. Overall though, I just really like the diversity and sound of this one. I think it's pretty consistent, man. It's just another great album from her. I think that the features are pretty cool too, honestly. And now that I'm thinking about it, it might be my favorite album by her. Yeah, it is. I actually really like this album now that I think about it. I think it's pretty cool, man. I'll keep it right here. It's like a decent 9 for me. And then I'll put Isolation under it. This is all staying in A tier, by the way. I don't think Kali has like an album that blows me away to where I want to put it in S. I just think she makes, as of right now, she makes some pretty enjoyable music that I find to be pretty fun and nice, you know? And Isolation is kind of a capsule of that. It's a very consistent album. The vibes on here are very nice. I just think a lot of the songs kind of tend to blend together. It's still a very good album, though. It's like a light to decent 9 for me. I think the features on here are pretty great, but Tyler's feature is kind of whack, I'll be honest with you. The mixing on his voice sounded a little weird. But overall, this album is very consistent. The vibes are very good. And I just think it kind of runs a little long, too. It's very good, though, as I said. It's like a light to decent 9. But yeah, my favorite by her is the one with the pink cover. I'm not going to butcher the name of it. And there's my Kali Uchis tier list. As I said, I feel like she doesn't have an album that blows me away to where I can put it in S tier. I still think she's just amazingly consistent as of late. Like, in terms of her album releases, she's just kind of been on a run of quality albums, honestly. I'm excited to see what she does next. I hope she does that guitar, like, acoustic album. If she does, like, a full album of that, that one's probably going to go in S tier. But as of right now, I just think she makes pretty great music. And, yeah, there's my tier list. I enjoyed her discography, and, yeah, share your rankings in the comments, as always. What's your favorite album by her? Mine's that one with the name I'm not going to butcher. And, yeah, I'm glad you made it this far in the video. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.